Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Furniture Dude, and I'm back at it again with another video. And so, today's video, we're just going to be talking about how the ninja's powers have been limited. Now, I've been a Ninjago fan for like quite a very long time to see how the ninja's powers and everything that they can do is now been shorted. This video is not a rant, but just to explain how the ninja's powers have been limited. Now, before you guys even watch the rest of the video, please leave a like and comment, subscribe, and let's get on to it. But before we even get on to like much, I just want to tell you guys that this it's not me hating on the ninja. It's just basically how I feel about like how the ninja's potentials have been overlooked. For starters, let's begin with Spinjitzu. Okay, ever since 2011 and throughout the show, Ninjago actually have been doing Spinjitzu. Now, honestly, I've been happy because apparently I liked how their Spinjitzu always looked like. I pretty much liked the gold kind better. Like every time when Spinjitzu was in gold, I kind of liked it. But the problem is with this particular thing is that ever since season 8 hit, the ninja they didn't barely did Spinjitzu because apparently they did do Spinjitzu. The problem is that who remembers the first episode of season 8 when Lloyd did Spinjitzu against the Sons of Garmadon and he was tired. Now that's something I wonder. Why does they get tired after when they do Spinjitzu? Now, Tommy and Dritson, someone had pointed out to Tommy and Dritson, and Tommy had told them that's something that that's a thing that he wants them to witness, and there's a reason why. Could be probably lack of training, or because remember season 8 and season 7 is a year apart, so it's a year after the events of season 7. So of course I expect them to be lazy, but I don't know. Throughout the rest of the show, they barely do Spinjitzu like that anymore. Unlike season 1 and 2 or season 3 or other seasons, they've been doing Spinjitzu a lot. A lot. But apparently for this one, they haven't been doing Spinjitzu a lot. They just been using weapons and stuff to fight. Honestly, they wouldn't even match up against the Overlord. But this is just Spinjitzu. There's plenty more where that came from. And I don't want to sound like a hater, but that's bad. That's really bad for me. Now another thing is the elemental dragons. Now season 4, the ninja have been doing they've been actually used the elemental dragons ever since season 4. They conquered their fears and they've been using it. The same thing goes for other elemental masters. They have been using they've been using these dragons, and it shows that they conquer their fears. Okay, it just shows they conquer their fears, and they can use these dragons. Apparently, ever since season 8, they haven't been using them. Now, okay, let me back to what Tommy Andresen said. He said about during the Comic-Con, during the Hammond Brothers were there, they explained how they wanted the ninja they wanted them to actually take the roots and steps on how to become a ninja again. Now, some of that's what I'm saying is not a rant, because some of it is not bad, because the ninja, on the other hand, they have been using power. They weren't too powerful, but instead they were actually powerful. But the thing is, they kind of shortened it, which I don't think it will be a good or a wise choice for them destroying everything. Now, the dragon thing is unique. How else are they supposed to fly? But they could fly with using air jitsu, but they couldn't have just kept air jitsu instead of just, I don't even know. But honestly, there are other things too that the ninja could do, such as probably combining dragons. Jay and Nia did during season 6, but I think it's only their thing. But I don't think it's actually I have a feeling every ninja could do that, or any elemental master can, but I'm not 100% sure. Besides, it's probably just more a Jay and Nia thing. Well, Kai and Nia did combine elemental dragons, but that was only from a weapon. Another thing that I want to talk about is air jitsu. Now, I mentioned before they could fly using air jitsu. Now, during season 5, they claimed the scroll of air jitsu from Sensei Yang, and they learned it. So another thing is like, why can't they do this anymore? Now the ninja, like ever since season 8, the ninja have not been doing any of these skills. They barely did spin jitsu. They don't even summon dragons, and they can't even do air jitsu. Now, honestly, air jitsu is one of the most powerful arts of all time in Ninjago. One of the most, because it's been rooted from spin jitsu that Sensei Yang had learned, which we don't know who. But, however, I wonder, why can't they do that? Now, because season 5, however, possession, they learned air jitsu because I understood why. Because Moro, however, possessed Lloyd, and the ninja lost their elemental powers. See, that's the thing I like about season 5, is because, sure, season 5 may be they may have lost some things, but the storyline was perfect. It aligns everything. It was no loopholes or no there was nothing. Everything was straight out understandable. That's why I like season 5. Another thing I want to talk about is, most importantly, their elemental powers. Now, there were times when the ninja didn't even have elemental. Well, they did have elemental powers, but not in the form of them actually blasting it out of their hands or probably just doing it as a resource. They actually been using weapons, but not just any kind of weapons. They've been using the golden weapons, the elemental blades, the techno blades. They actually been using stuff like that actually for combat. And honestly, that's something that I could at least understand, because during from season 1, they couldn't use the golden weapons at their full capacity because they didn't unlock their true potential. And until they end up unlocking it, they actually embrace the power. Now, ever since they lost it, I understand why they feel hopeless, why they were unpowerless. And that's when they end up getting not the techno blade, but the elemental blades, where they got their powers back or their strength back, because they went to the temple of air jitsu. It's the temple of light. Sorry about that. And there was the techno blades, because they didn't have the elemental blades, which I don't know why don't they have the elemental blades during season 3, or what did they do with it? Because the techno blades, it just hack into things. But I understand though, because it was mostly about ninjas and stuff. But more than that, I still don't understand why they didn't have the elemental blades at least. But that's when during the middle of season 3, when Lloyd ended up losing his power, they went back to the temple, the temple of light, and Lloyd ended up getting their powers back. But however, season 8 messed that up too. Now, let's think about it. For instance, let's think about how Lloyd uses his powers. Now, I'm looking at Lloyd and Nia the most because them two have most likely been downgraded a bit. Now, don't hate on me in the comments. I'm looking at this as my point of view. Now, the ninja could use their elemental powers freely, but Lloyd could use it the same way as they could. But it's hard to explain, how he can actually just do energy blasts. He could do them, and he could do it bigger. Unlike this Lloyd, he can't do it like that. He could only he does this weird type of movements with his hands. Now, I'm not hating. It's just that the fact that, I just think that maybe they couldn't have just kept that. Why do you have it? Again, it could be lack of training. So I don't know. But I don't think it's really lack of training. I think they just limited it because they want them to take the steps of becoming a ninja again. Oh, like Nia, for instance. Look at Nia, for instance, how she blasts water out of her hands. Now, she could create water and control water. Now, she could actually do both. Now, looking at her, she can actually now from like, let me think. Season 8. That's when it started. Because when season 8 hit, she started actually just using her powers like just to control water. She can't create it out of her own hands anymore. Like she gotta find a nearest pipe or a nearest source of water and just use it. Now, sure, like you may say other elemental masters like Bolobo and stuff like that, but like Bolobo could use his powers even without like. Think about Bolobo, Master of Nature, and Jacob, Master of Sound. Sure, they both have like weapons and stuff like that to use their powers, but they don't need the weapons to actually use their powers. Like how we saw from Skylar, how she absorbed Jacob's power, she could use it without the guitar. So it's stuff like that kind of questions me on why the ninja's elements have been limited. Honestly, I feel like Nia's own have been limited the most out of the whole 6. But however, they all have been limited because they don't even use their power as much. They actually been using weapons. Now, I'm not going to be mad at them for using weapons. I just feel as though the ninjas should start using their powers a bit more and a bit less. And what they should do is that they should create like harder enemies instead of just making enemies that are just lesser than them and they ended up losing to them. And so yeah, guys, that's pretty much it about this video. I hope you guys enjoy this content. What do you guys think in the comment section below? Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.